Hi, can you hear me?
Hey there, Jenny. Yeah, I can.
Oh, awesome. I'm so sorry. I was kind of having a, I don't know, technical issue with my mobile phone. It was just crazy.
Yeah, no worries. It's okay. Hope if all's good. I did mention this to Alpha as well. I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay, awesome. So sorry once again to everyone for being here late. I had some issues, but I'm here now. So welcome Alex and welcome everyone to this session with HuDex. So I don't know. Um let's begin. Yeah?
Yep, yep.
All right. So let us start with an introduction, like a quick intro of the project and the team. Yes, let's start with the team. And I'm asking for this introduction because I know that a lot of people probably know about the project, but I still know that some people may not have heard about the project. So, yes, a quick introduction of the team and maybe give us a little background, just a little background before we dive into the overview of the project.
Perfect. Okay, so let me just make sure I'm audible, so you guys can hear me loud and clear, right?
Absolutely. Very
Perfect.
clear.
Okay. Awesome. Let's start properly. First of all, hello everyone. Happy Sunday. With all the respect, thanks a lot to each and every one of you for joining. It's Sunday, family time, different activities rather than joining in a crypto Twitter space. But still, here you are, and I'm grateful for this. Second of all, thanks a lot, Jenny. Thanks a lot, Alpha, for preparing this, and thanks a lot for understanding. And initially, we had to have this one yesterday, but I had to postpone. It was a discrepancy between me and the team, but in the end, we managed to do so. And third of all, so you guys can understand who am I and what am I doing here. My name's Alex. I've been an AMA host and VC representative for the past 2 years, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, give or take a couple of months. I've been doing this out of I mean, it was a surprise that let's say, I'm not going to show myself decent. I have decent speaking skills. It started as a fun endeavor. I actually took someone else's spot. He was busy. He said, "Can you do it?" I said, "Okay." And from there on, what do you know? I'm doing this on a daily basis. The reason why I'm saying this is so that you guys understand I'm not a part of the team, not this one, not any other project where you may have heard me or you will hear me in the future. I'm a speaker hired on behalf of the team to help them with representing the project, the history so far, the upcoming plans, the upcoming developments that they want to put forward, and so on and so forth. And then the natural reason, uh, the first question that comes to mind is, okay, why would someone hire people to speak on behalf of them since they developed the project and they know it better? And that's a valid question. It comes down to, first of all, the conversational flow. Because I'm in crypto and because I do this on a daily basis, I tend to be a bit more prepared than others when it comes to questions. When you guys are asking questions, the AMA FAQ at the end, I'm more familiar with that because I do this on a daily basis. Second of all, their English, with no disrespect to them, of course, I'm just quoting, is not the best. They're both from Morocco. Uh, in my perspective, because they have joined in previous AMAs, their English is very, very good. I would say probably better than mine. I'm not a native English speaker either, as you guys can probably um, guess so far. But that's pretty much why they wanted me to represent this. I've been doing this. They know that I have the, let's say, ins and outs of the investor and trader's perspective, but also from a project's perspective. I'm not an expert, but here I am hoping to present this um, in a well-researched manner. Because at the end, that's my purpose. I hope that at the end you guys are going to be able to learn something new and kind of feel that it wasn't actually a waste. That's pretty much it. So who's the team? That's probably what I'm going to follow with this. Two people on the core team, no more, no less. Not at the moment. There may be some potential plans to expand in the future, but so far they're trying to establish the grounds for the project. We're going to talk about what they did so far and where's the token at right now. Two core team members, Lumineer and Aries. I spoke with both of them. Lumineer actually joined in a couple of AMAs that we had in other communities. And Aries has been, let's say, pretty much handling the operation side. Both of them, I mean, they kind of complement each other because they're not just people from the crypto side. They're friends in real life. They know each other, and they've been actively in the trading side for about 3 or 4 years. This has been an idea that came probably 2.5 years ago, or let's say 2 years ago. But because of the developments, with the COVID and the post-pandemic effects on crypto and the financial markets, then you got the tariff crash, and then you got the FTX and so many others. They did postpone, and they reshuffled, and they restructured the project so that once the time comes, so as it is right now, they will try to make an impact. Now we are going to talk about the chart because I had some questions on, are you guys satisfied or not? But to kind of keep it on the low end. This is the introduction. This is who I am. This is who I'm representing, and this is who the team is. I'm gonna say back to you, Jenny. If you want to lead the way on how you want to host things, I'm gonna be more than happy to follow along.
Okay. Okay. And thank you for the introduction. I know, okay, I know that there are lots of questions, but I am curious, as I believe other people are, to know, what inspired the team. You've already talked about the team, but what inspired them to create HuDex? Did they see some sort of gap or lapse in the space and decided that, okay, we want to create something cool, something that will be like a solution to this problem? I'm really, really interested in the why of how they launched the project. So yes, if you could just tell us about that really, really quick before I ask other questions.
Perfect. Yeah, that's actually a good question. I mean, the inspiration behind HuDex as a platform um, is kind of simple. Back then, back when they first came with the idea, you didn't have all these platforms. You didn't have all these split utilities. So even then, and that's why I've mentioned, as they went along, they had to restructure and recompile the project. They wanted to make sure that day-to-day activities in crypto are being met or handled uh, in the same platform. So that's pretty much the inspiration came due to, in their vision, a lack of accessibility and user friendliness when it comes to these aspects. And as we go along in the utility, hopefully you guys are going to see the same thing. Although some of, and maybe most of them, are related to the price of the token, it comes down to that excessive point. Uh, I mean, yeah, I'm going to go with excessive point where sometimes it gets frustrating, maybe not for us who have a bit more experience, but for the new people that join crypto. You want to trade a contract and you want to follow the chart. So you trade it on PancakeSwap or Bogd or 1inch or whatever, and then you follow the chart on PooCoin or Dexy or Dexos. And then if you want to follow another token, you got to open another tab. And it's sometimes a cumbersome procedure. So their idea kind of relied on providing a one-stop shop for having those particular activities or indulging in them in the same platform. So if you want an encapsulation of a couple of traders' perspectives into one, that's pretty much how the idea came. And although at the moment it's kind of hard to succeed strictly within the current meta, so to call it, or trend, because Pepe and everybody trades on Pepe and Floki affiliated tokens. Um, and I just spoke with the team this morning to reestablish the statement. They're not really focusing on this market and this trend because they know if they keep pushing and if they keep releasing features in the DApp and again reshuffle within the benefit of the investors, there will be a time when HuDex is going to be seen as a solid platform, and not only seen but used. And that's of course that's their angle. I know it's ambitious, and a lot of the people out there may seem like we've been there, done that. But in the end, that's how projects succeed. I mean, think about it. PooCoin didn't have a trading feature. Everybody we used to trade on PancakeSwap or Bogd or 1inch or whatever. So why did they implement that if others had it? Because of reliability. Where do you follow charts right now? PooCoin, probably. Let's say most of them. So you have an option to trade, swap at the same time. It's all about accessibility. Having it is better than not having it. Yeah, that's pretty much the answer, Jenny, to expand a bit.
Amazing. Now, you said something when you were answering. You said that it looks ambitious. Honestly, I don't think it is because, as you mentioned, a lot of us use PooCoin. And to be honest, just this morning, I was having some sort of lag, and I felt dissatisfied this morning trying to trade on PooCoin, and I thought to myself, I wish there was another option. Okay, and I know that there's one other DEX that launched not too long ago. I don't want to mention it, but belongs to one of the top launch pads. To be honest, I don't know why it seems like I'm the only one having problems with it, but it's kind of laggy too. So I don't think that HuDex releasing utilities and hoping to or working towards being one of the most used dexes is ambitious. Honestly, I think it's really really doable if you look at the market. So yes. All right, let's let's move on before I get all chatty. So
No worries.
yeah. So my question is, and I feel like this is the core question. Yes, we can talk about all of the utility, and I think we'll get into that just after this question. But my question is, how do you, as a team now, how do they plan, or how do you plan to increase adoption and usage of the HuDex token? Because one thing is to launch a cool feature or something with a cool utility. Another thing is to actually get users to use, your product. So yes, how do you plan to increase adoption and the usage of HuDex?
That's actually a terrific question because it allows us to expand on a bit of the utility. I'm not going to stretch it too long because I want to keep it for the questions. But in theory, and I'm saying in theory because they're still working on the D app, and until they reach a certain level, it's all, let's say, in the works. So it's all work in progress right now. Their D app has been, at least as far as I understood, prepared for the launch even before. So if you take a look at what they developed, it's all there on the website on hudex.io. You can see it all. But in the end, your top-notch quality with the question there, Jenny. How do you get people to use it? I mean, you have the token. If you have the token, you either purchase it because you thought you're going to get rich based of it, or you whatever reason. But at the moment, your holders are only a portion of what you could end up getting. So in the end, how do you get people to buy it, and why? Because you're offering a idea behind the token. So you don't buy the token. That's the vision on which they built. Let's say that's how they dig the foundation. They dug it back way 2 years ago, and that's how they kept digging and going about it. You need the token because you want to access the utilities. Now, if we take a look at the dashboard, and I'm going to say a quick overview, there's going to be some features there. You got the dashboard, which is your main, let's say, simplified version with the daily pairs and the daily gainers and losers and so on and so forth. And it's self-explanatory. You're going to see the full history of what's happening in crypto on a particular chain, whether it's BNB, or, BSC in this case, or Ethereum, or Avalanche, or just to be sure that you're not missing anything. That's the, let's say, the portion most used on DEX tools aside for the trending. Then if you go along, you're going to have the swap. A swap is a swap. I mean, you have a token, you swap from A to B, and that's pretty much it. And their swap is operating on the respective chain. So the taxes are going to be taken from BSC, from ETH, there's no project tax to be taken into account. Now, when it comes down to, let's say, the accessibility, you have two features in which I'm going to say they require at some point the token, which is, first of all, the contract checker. Now, a contract checker, for some people, it might seem like it's irrelevant. I trade on FOMO. I do it the same. I mean, if someone shows the token right now and I know it's going to be big, I don't really care about, some features. I'm just going to buy. Why? Because, that's how we're built. But others prepare. Once you jump into the degen gambles, you want to be prepared. So you want to understand what can and cannot happen in a token. Is there a minting function? Does the owner have more than 5% liquidity? Can it be a honeypot? Can people sell? What are the taxes? And so many questions that kind of appear once you start or want to trade a token. If you have a contract, you can input that into the contract checker and use it. Now, why did I say that you need the token for most of the utilities? Because at first glance, you're going to have the basic features. Even on the contract checker, even on the multi-chart, even on the dashboard, even on the bridge, and even on the reward. We're going to talk about reward because that's the latest restructure that they did. Now, with a platform such as HuDex, you have some basic features available to everyone, but you're also going to have some premium features. Maybe a stop loss, maybe a trigger bot, maybe a liquidity tracker, maybe some stuff that they are planning right now, which will be accessible only to token holders. Why? Well, I mean, because you do need to put some value into the token as well. And that's pretty much the, let's say, expanded version and expanded answer to your question. Not to mention what up and coming plans, of course, they want to provide the reward platform, attracting people on a daily basis back to their ecosystem. The premium, as I said, the premium features, some up and coming partnership opportunities focused on the token holders, because the token holders are going to have the opportunity to participate in partnerships and collaborations with others, depending on what the team establishes, and also a governance platform. When it comes to the governance platform, for a project such as this, it all comes down to listing. They wanna have some listings on the HuDex platform, and let's say pairings added on a DAO governance. I mean, if the team feels the need for them, they're gonna put it forward to a vote, and you guys are gonna be able to kind of participate and decide. And let's say in some aspects, not to say that you're going to control the full project, but some aspects will be taken to the community. So those are, let's say, the key aspects on how is the native token integrated and why would one purchase this particular token. So it's not correlating to what we were discussing earlier. It's not really revolutionizing the industry or reinventing the wheel. It's just an adaptation, a user-friendly adaptation to the current meta and the current space, so to speak, trying to fit in the landscape right now, as I've said, with the meme tokens, but trying to also ensure that, in one way or another, you have the means to succeed for the long term. Because, I mean, think about it. At the moment, there's no monopoly when it comes to trading, to DEXs in general. Again, some people prefer to trade on PancakeSwap. I'm a Block.finance fan. Someone trades on 1inch. So these platforms don't really tend to have a monopoly, such as, for example, on the launch pads, you got Pinkcell, who's at the top notch quality right now, and below that you don't even know who that is. On a centralized exchange, everybody wants Binance. If it's not Binance, I don't know, let's say it's Gate, maybe KuCoin, maybe I don't know, Huobi or Bybit, but at the top notch quality you got Binance. So you have something to aspire for. You have a monopoly which has been established over the course of, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years. I don't know exactly when Binance was invented, was launched. So that's what they're looking forward to, integrate themselves and offer a couple of aspects for which you would need a token, but also be accessible to people that aren't willing to buy at some levels. So give them like a demo version of what you're accomplishing. I feel like I took a lot of your time, but I wanted to make sure that I expand there on why would you purchase the token?
Yeah, I understand that. All right. It kind of even covered some other questions that I have, so I feel like it's actually great. The answer is very detailed. So let me ask this next, because we'll soon start taking questions. But I want to know, um for projects, I'm a sucker. First of all, I'm a sucker for one-stop shops. Honestly, yes. Anything that anything so sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So anything that provides me with all of the things I need, contract checker, checking the chat, swapping, everything. Once I take note of projects like that, I always try to do my research and follow them up. Okay, so I feel like this is all in all a great idea. But another thing I'm interested in is I like to know how funds were raised for projects, especially good projects. I'm just curious. How were the team able to raise the fund? Was there any sort of private sale? Was there any sort of like angel investment or backing? And those sort of things. So if you could just touch on that, really quick.
Of course, of course. Everything was put forward to the let's say expanded audience. So a wide area of investors were able to invest in the fair launch. So there wasn't any angel pre-seed strategic round or private. They put forward their fair launch, which was held on PinkCell, and everybody was able to get in if they wanted to. Now, what's interesting is when it comes to fundraising, they raised 450 BNBs. About 656 people went in. Why is that interesting? Well, again, I'm going to restate the fact that we're in a meme token period. So if you take a look at what some of the fair launches are doing right now, 7,000 BNBs, 5,000 BNBs, I mean, that's a lot. 12,000 people going in on a fair launch compared to 656. You would say, it's kind of pointless. Why should you develop in this area? And again, you're not really correlating your utilities with one time frame. Also, one thing that I should probably mention is the fact that all of the small marketing ideas that these guys put forward, because they are building a campaign as we're looking to expand. My services and the AMAs that we had, it's a SAFO contract developed via CoinSold. So basically, they had the ownership established with CoinSold. All of the weird and kind of sketchy functions were eliminated from the contract. So there's no minting, there's no honeypot, there's no so on and so forth. You guys know that. Let's say to clear the security area. And more than that, probably the cherry on top of the cake, if you ask me, is the fact that they had for quite some time right now a CertiK audit. CertiK audit, which was done on the 24th of March. Why is that important? People might say it's just an audit. It is, but a CertiK audit is somewhere at currently five figures. So you can take it at 5K, at 10K or 25K. It's somewhere in between, I would say. Well, they invested that out of their own pockets because they wanted to make sure people understand they're not a project that just want to launch, see what they do, maybe grab a quick buck and go from there. They do want to establish the DApp in a secure and transparent manner. So to have CertiK and a fair launch on PinkCell, you don't typically see that. So yeah, that's how that's how the funds for the upcoming development were raised. What the team wanted to also put forward, but they had to restructure, was staking. Now, staking, I don't feel I need to explain staking to you guys. You're smart people. It's a passive income opportunity, as simple as that. But then they said, you know what, we have to make something different. So they kind of took away staking, and they're gonna recreate a reward system within the DApp. And the angle here is that although it's not a passive income opportunity, you're eliminating completely any impermanent loss. Impermanent loss is the difference at stake and at unstake, basically, the difference in the value of the token. So that's completely eliminated. You don't care about the value of the token, but what you care about is the rewards added. And that's going to, again, if people want the rewards, it's going to attract them on a daily basis in that particular reward application. That's the logic. So trying to develop a system in which people access it on a daily basis, interact with it, and of course earn something, because nothing is free in the world. That's the latest reshuffle that they did. The reward system to get users visiting the app, doing a couple of tasks. And if you want to, I'm not going to be able to share a lot because I don't want to spoil things. They're still preparing. Staking was envisioned to be released 1 to 2 weeks after the launch. Now they're going to keep the same time frame, but it's going to be a reward platform, not a staking. So the launch happened on the 5th of May, which was 2 days ago. Still a bit more time until we see the reward platform integrated. But what's interesting here, and again, from my perspective, trying to be as unbiased as possible for you guys. The reason why I say this unbiased, as I don't want to seem like I'm trying to show something to you. It's all about educational perspective. The logic here is that they're going to try and create that particular platform in which you guys do some tasks that might end up rewarding you, but it's going to help the project develop, expand, and support itself. A native ecosystem, if I may. Ideally, at the moment, all that they're requesting for, and maybe not requesting, but expecting from their community, which is it's not small, but definitely not to the potential that it can be. They're at 7,000 members with about, I'm going to say, 35% online ratio, so about 1.5K. Hopefully my math was not off there. They're only expecting from the community right now consolidation, ideally trying to boost the token's value, and go from there. I'm not going to speculate. Can it do a 10x or 20x or 30x? That's not really for me to say. I mean, sure, if you take a look at the current chart and take it from there, sure, it has the potential. But it all comes down to the investments, and people that want to hold and people that understand that there might be some value in the longer term. So it's not a take it now, do a quick 2x, 3x. Not really. They were pre-listed on CG even before we started the AMAs. Kind of, in my perspective, it kind of states the fact that we're not here to develop a token and try to boost it through some, DEX tools trending or, CMC, CG listing. I think CMC is in the tracks as well. They didn't fast track it because why do it, if you ask me? It's just a matter of pumping, and they wanna keep things on a progressive and organic manner. Again, that's a name. We'll see how it progresses, but they did accomplish a lot of stuff even before they even got me to host the AMA. So that was 3 weeks ago. Definitely taking things on a serious level, if you ask me. We're gonna have to wait and see, how well they progress. But that's where they are right now.
All right. Thank you for that. And I think at this point, um, may not open it up to the community. I say this because if I continue asking my questions, we're gonna that would not be cool. But in between, maybe if there's time or chance, I might shoot one or two extra questions at you, Alex. Are you there?
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah.
Okay. So I see two hands up and I will take your questions real quick. And I see 137. 137. You can ask your question. Can you? 130. Are you there? Please mute your mic and ask your question so we can move on. Okay, moving on. One 37. All right. North. You can ask your question, North.
Okay,
North.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
All right. So
Yes,
thank
go
you
ahead.
very much. So HuDex is actually, I think, very one stop to all AI platforms. So I would love to know, does your project only thrive on the AI trend, or would you still thrive even if AI is no longer trending?
That's a good question. Now, the answer to this is something more. I mean, it's probably going to take 30 minutes to answer in depth, but let me narrow it down, of course, not to waste time. So, the project itself, I know you took the AI portion from the roadmap, but the AI integration in HuDex is an up and coming plan. And when I say up and coming, probably in a transparent manner, somewhere near the end of the year. That's when it's expected. Now, just my perspective, AI is not a trend at the current level. Sure, some tokens in crypto try to speculate on it, and they said like, hey, listen, we can launch SafeMoon AI, and it's gonna do wonders because SafeMoon and because AI. But in the end, the platform, the algorithm itself of artificial intelligence wasn't there to back the project. So what I'm trying to say is that the reason why these guys put AI integration in the roadmap, but they don't have it right now, is because until you reach the level where you would need AI, you need to have the human confidence and the human interaction. AI integration in a platform such as this is, and again, this is very ambitious because they want to create algorithms as they did with the platform. According to their statements, nothing is forked. Everything was created from scratch based on their own ideas. Um, but again, even the AI, you need to have a true use case for that. Don't just slap an AI bot there and think it's, it's going to do wonders, because in the end, the AI bots based on the, let's say, Chat GPT, those are based on the API 3.5 that was publicly released because it's an open source. In case you guys didn't know, it's actually an open source. So yeah, the AI trend, this is not a trend in my perspective. This is something that was already up and coming for the past 50 or 60 years, maybe more or less. And now, taken to another level due to Elon's unlimited resources, and showing people that they somehow we can coexist, but not to go on that side. It's not a trend. It's something that has been on the works, and it will help us humans to expand as well. But yeah, the project's AI portion, so to speak, is going to be revealed somewhere at the end of the year. At the moment, personally, I would dislike to see any AI touch HuDex, because you need to establish a community of users that are actively engaging with your utilities. Until then, everything else is kind of pointless. So get your people, get your community in, not only on the value of the token. I know because we're in crypto, we tend to treat everything also okay. It's not really good because the value has been dropping, and sure, it has been dropping, but look at the amount of money that is going in and out of crypto. So yeah, again, that's an analysis that I'm not worried to make, but that's my answer to your question. I think it was North. I feel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was not. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jenny.
Sure, man. Thanks a lot for asking as well. I'm not sure. I think Jenny dropped. I'm not sure if she's back or not.
I can still see her on the speaker panel.
Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna wait for her to step back in. Until Jenny kind of pops back in, she may be having some connection issues. One thing that we didn't mention in regards to the token itself, and this is pure trading aspect. If you guys are considering buying, maybe now, maybe later, it's definitely up to you guys. So again, don't take me as a shiller, as a salesman. I'm just here from an educational perspective. The taxes are 2% buy, 3% sell. That's it. There's no unlocked tokens. There was nothing unlocked. Staking is going to be redefined into the rewards platform. There may be, maybe not right now, but in the future, a centralized exchange listing as well. And the rest of the tokenomics are explained that they do want to make a quite expanded portion for the rewards. To what level, I wouldn't be able to share with you guys right now. I'm still waiting for them um, to present it to me as well. And again, I'm not here to overstate facts. But yeah, ideally with a platform such as this, you kind of have to, again, to attract as many people in the utility and give them a reason to purchase the token for the premium factors. As a comparison, I would say take Dex tools, for example, maybe, or take PooCoin. PooCoin has a token as well, but nobody purchases it because, I mean, what does it do? I have no idea if it actually does anything or not. I think they have a premium aspect, but I haven't actually went through that ever. If it does anything, then I'm sorry to PooCoin, but I don't own a PooCoin token, and I'm not planning on purchasing it because I use PooCoin as it is. So that's the thing. That's the angle that these guys are reviewing. If people are considering, okay, so this is HuDex, for every utility I have access, why should I buy the token? They do want to separate those. They want to build a bridge, as I've been informed as well. So yeah, that definitely the one-stop shop. But let me see if did Jenny pop back in?
No, I don't think I see her.
Okay, no worries, no worries. I mean, I'm still gonna try and I don't think I have. No, I don't have the privileges to to offer you guys the opportunity
Um,
to speak.
yeah,
But
maybe
if you have any
Alpha.
questions, Nort, yeah, definitely, please go
Okay,
ahead.
yes, yes. that you said we could actually search for tokens on different chains. So how exactly are you going to be showing the pair for each?
Well, I think you kind of broke down, but I pretty much got. I think I got the question, so let me try and answer it. When it comes to the dashboard itself, yeah, if you go to the dashboard right now, um, it doesn't actually, and maybe they're working on it. It doesn't connect for me. I tried to connect the wallet, so just to have access to it, it doesn't work. But ideally, what they're gonna do is once you go to HuDex.io, you're gonna see that at the top right corner, you have the connect your wallet, and you have multiple options there with the Wallet Connect, Zerion, Ledger, MetaMask, whatever you feel more comfortable. Again, if you're scared, to new protocols, you can always create a new wallet and go from there with no funds just to test it out and see. The reason why I share that is because I know that the typical question is, can you guarantee that they're not gonna require for funds? Unless you know the MetaMask errors and codes, you can Google it and understand more. I would just say, you can actually create a new wallet. Go from there and select the chain. You're going to have BNB chain, Ethereum chain, Avalanche, Polygon, Solana, and so on and so forth, and eventually be able to filter between those. And this will probably incorporate some token holdings, be able to do some custom, how should I put this? Maybe custom uh, visualizations, so to call them. So only display something from the hot pairs that has been listed in the past 5 or 10 minutes. Daily gainers, only the ones that you want. Maybe you want to eliminate the WBNB and just leave BUSD. You're going to be able to filter and kind of, let's say, customize it, tailor it to your own experience. Why? Because if you only trade on BSC and you're not interested in BNB or interested only in BUSD or vice versa, then yeah, you will have the option of making it more user friendly, if that's even an opportunity. So yeah, that's kind of the logic. And on the BNB chain pools, the same thing, to kind of sort them out and filter them. But it's all, I mean, they're still, as they shared to me, they're still working on the D app as it is right now. So, and I feel that the team already knows this. That's one of the kind of, let's say, you have the utility, but it's not fully done. That's one of the aspects that traders in crypto don't take into account. They just expect everything to be ready. I sometimes tend to do the same, and if it's not, then I'm gonna sell the token and wait until it is. Now, it happens. Maybe they're gonna burst into a 10x from here or 2x or whatever the case might be. But yeah, let's just see how they develop and how well they can integrate people.
All right, thank you. I think Jenny is back.
Yeah, thanks as well. Thanks as well, Nord. Oh, is she? Let's see.
Yes.
Yep, I see her. She may be, yeah, she definitely, I think she may be having some connection issues. So yeah, don't worry about that. Uh, well, until she pops back in. Again, Jenny, if you're here, you can interrupt me at any given point. It's not a problem. What the team wanted me to showcase as of today, to kind of answer the question, what are you guys doing right now? They are working on marketing, because the long perspective of the token cannot be met unless people are aware of it. Whether you buy it or not at this moment, they just want to make sure that they are starting to gain brand recognition. So what do they mean by brand recognition? Think about it this way. If I were to ask you guys right now, which mobile phone companies would you take into account? Producers, developers. You'll probably say, Apple, Samsung, maybe some regional ones, Oppo, Xiaomi, and so on and so forth. But you already know that you can correlate the phrase mobile phones with some brands. In the end, where they want to take the project, whether it's ambitious or not, it's feasible or viable or not, viable it is, but how doable it is in short time. They're gonna try and achieve this within shortest time possible. Is if people are asking questions like, can you guys recommend a let's say a platform where I can swap HuDex? Can I multi-chart HuDex? Can I see the token charts again? Although you have PooCoin and so many others, HuDex can help you with that as well. They want to be there. They want to at least be taken into account by people, and from there on, eventually coexist within or amongst others as well. Yeah, it's like doing the difference between why do professional traders use TradingView? Because it has so many premium options. Again, it's expensive, I'm not gonna lie, but depending on your activities, it's worth it. And that's the operative key phrase, depending on your activities. Now, with no disrespect to anyone, but if people are in crypto, or let's say they're going to join crypto, uh, with the expectation, Pepe just killed the entire space. I mean, they did amazing stuff. Binance was the latest one. But if people expect or understand if Pepe did it, others can do it as well, sure. But, kind of set your expectations properly. If you want to learn the trading aspect, platforms such as TradingView, eventually, at some point, maybe HuDex can help. If you want a quick flip, let's say regular trading, similar to what I do, then Dexos, DexView, PoolCoin, uh, CoinGecko Terminal, and maybe some others might be sufficient. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I do use Dexos as a premium because those filters and those particular factors help me within my trading. It makes it a lot easier and convenient for me. I'm saving a lot of time. Does DexView offer the same? I have no idea. Does PoolCoin offer the same? Definitely not. The other CoinGecko terminal or something like that, I dislike it entirely. But that's just me. I know others use it, but that's just me. So their mission in one way or another is to, although nobody, not 100% of the population or of the, let's say, user base will like them, and that's natural. Nobody likes, not all of the people like Bitcoin. Something that Ethereum is going to top it at some point. Something that one way or another coin is going to be released, which is going to dethrone Bitcoin entirely, and so on and so forth. It comes down with perspective, but you have to attract as many people as possible, but also make them understand that what you're trying to do is a bit better or a bit safer or a bit faster or a bit different than others. If not, don't compare apples and oranges, but in the end, you end up comparing them and you end up asking yourself, so why should I use X instead of Y? It comes down to that also, probably first perception. Um, the first time this is going to be probably an example that it's going to surprise you guys. The first time that I started trading about 3 years ago, post SafeMoon, a couple of days after SafeMoon launched, I started to understand or try to understand trading. I went on PancakeSwap. I was like, okay, so PancakeSwap, I have the contract. I knew what a contract was, or at least how did it look. And I tried to purchase something on PancakeSwap, and I felt disgusted. I was like, what the? I don't understand anything, So you go to trade, swap, and from here on, it's not user friendly. To this day, the main platform that I use is not PancakeSwap. I don't trade on PancakeSwap. I think I traded 3 times because the token was only sellable on PancakeSwap or bogged was, well, I don't know, under maintenance or something. But my day-to-day activities do not focus on PancakeSwap. I just don't like it. And I know people are going to say you're crazy because it's the most used. Maybe it is. Not to me. And think about it. People are, who they are. People have an experience which they're going to take into account. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not sure if Jenny's back or not. I feel like I'm
Yeah, yeah,
talking
yeah.
way a lot.
No, it's fine, it's fine. I think Jane is having a bit of connection issues, but quickly we could go ahead and pick participants to ask their question. So I can actually see Elon. Maybe Elon. If you come up, you could go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has questions, I don't have the
I
opportunity.
Yeah, I actually okay. Let me do
Yeah,
to
good day. Can you hear me?
yeah, Elon.
Yeah.
Yes, please. One question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. 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 Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. So, just in this space, you made mention of Q token holders being able to participate in governance propositions. So, can you tell us the minimum amount of this who token I must hold before I can be able to participate in these governance propositions? And what forms of governance propositions can these token holders vote on? Thank you.
Definitely. Thanks a lot for the question, Elon. when it comes to the governance, well, sure, let's call it a like a DAO system. When it comes to the governance that they want to input, it's not only about the protocol itself. Usually the governance kind of limits what you can or cannot vote on, and it's not decisive. So you can vote, but if the team decides to not, then it's all pointless. The way in which HuDex is aiming to implement the governance platform is correlating with multiple factors. First of all, let's say the adoption of future chains. I'm not sure if they're going to have, let's say, Optimism or Aptos or Sui or any other, but if they want to adopt, those are some things that will be put to a vote. Why? Because I believe right now that it's quite a difficult procedure to add a blockchain. I don't know. I'm not a developer. I cannot code anything. But the idea is they don't want to work in vain and then for nobody to use it. But in the end, you can showcase, listen, we have optimism. Sure, but if nobody trades on it, what's the point? It's like adding Crow right now. You can trade on the Crow chain. Okay, but nobody does that anymore. So that's the logic. Ideally, what they want to do is only add perspectives that are requested by the community, but you guys as maybe let's say the voting people, the ones that not everybody's going to be in the DAO. There's going to be some requirements there as well, but you guys are going to have let's say a decisive word in it. If they put it for a vote, you guys are going to decide if it's yes or no, and based on that, it is going to happen. So they're not going to take their word back. Let's put this for a vote. You decided yes, okay, but we're going to say no. No, they're not going to do that because it's a waste of time. And that's only one aspect. The rewards, the learning courses, the partnerships that they, some of the partnerships, of course, not all of them, that they will input, the operations behind the partnerships, which will reward you guys in the end, because I did mention this at some point in the AMA, the token will offer you guys some partnership perspectives as well. And also take into account, they have two utilities that we didn't come to discuss. The price bot, price bot, everybody knows I think it's Bobby Bybot or something like that. There are a couple of them. So they're going to have their own price bot as well on the Telegram. But what's more interesting to me, and I do look forward to seeing that, they are planning to develop a price bot for Discord. I know that the Discord has been kind of on and off. People are thinking that Discord is not that popular within crypto, but yet it is. It's only good for NFTs, but yet it isn't. It's good for a lot of stuff. They want to develop that as well. And from my perspective, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I don't know, they would be the first. I have never seen a Discord price bot like ever. So that's one thing. And also something that I don't exactly know how it's going to work, the hype bot. Those are a couple of things that you guys will have a very important say in them as well. To what level, I'm going to wait and see until the team explains it in depth. I have seen a couple of ideas, but they haven't decided yet. So yeah, all in all, to kind of narrow it down, I would say that the governance is going to only be put forward when there's something that plays an important part. So, should we tweet this? Should we tweet that? Tweet everything. Be as active as possible, basically. Let the people know. Doesn't matter that at the moment you have only 100 views on your Twitter. Doesn't matter, man. Just be active. That's a logic. That's how I see things. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, he did. Thank you very much for this wonderful, precise answer. Thank you, Note. Thank you, Jenny. I wish
All
you the
right,
best.
all right. Thank you
Thanks,
very
Amanda.
much. Alex, that was a really detailed answer. I mean, I haven't seen a Discord prize bot too. So up next we have Amber. Amber, you could go ahead with your question.
Yeah, thank you, Not. Thank you, Alex. I want to ask that does HuDex help to prevent flash loan attacks in trading on your platform?
Oh, interesting question. I think again, I'm very technical when it comes to let's say the security in depth. In the past, I'm gonna have to put it down to 2 years, at least from what I've seen. There have been only a couple of big flash loan attacks. And what I understood is that in that particular flash loan attack, as a procedure, the hacker kind of takes an amount of funds and uses those funds to kind of manipulate the price. I don't know exactly how it functions. However, when it comes to the security of the platform itself, you need to, you need to forget about exposure in one way or another. Why? Well, because, and again, this is coming from the team, not from me. If there is a malicious, let's say, attack, it will be because you opened it up somehow. From their perspective, and I cannot say if that's 100% correct or not, because I don't know security on platforms. They're not leaving room for error. Sure, if someone wants to hack the platform, to put it down in this way, Google and NASA at some point have had minor hacks. Apple has had hacks. So the big ones had it. It's clearly open at some point or another. So if someone big wants to hack it, maybe they can. But in terms of a flash loan attack, I think it's kind of hard, at least how I understand it, because you would need to have a big portion of utility, of liquidity, on maybe unwatched, so to say. So I don't exactly know if they're prepared for, to stop a flash loan attack or not. I would say they are, but flash loan attacks kind of, let's say, I feel they're not just gonna happen on HuDex, just because. I don't know. That's just my feeling, but yeah.
Okay. Please note, can you give me one chance? I want to ask another question.
All
Can I
right,
go
all right.
ahead?
Yeah, be
Thank you.
faster because of
Okay, okay.
our.
Okay, thank you. What role does HuDex play in improving price discovery and reducing arbitrage opportunity on your platform? That's my question. Thank you.
I'm really sorry, Amber, but I didn't fully understand it. If you can repeat it.
Okay, I said, what role does HuDex play in improving price discovery and reducing arbitrage opportunity on your platform? Do you understand? Do you get the question?
Not exactly. Reducing arbitrary, you said?
Arbitrage.
Oh, okay. That's that's kind of. In general, when it comes to investing, as again, as far as I understand, the arbitrage. I think it's. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct or not. That's how I say it because of my accent. Is kind of, let's say, at the same time a purchase and a sale of assets. So in one way or another, it's kind of connected with front bots as well. Um, it's hard to stop that. Um, depends on the pairing as well. I'm gonna be honest. If it's a pairing that has massive volume and exposure, I feel as far as I understand it, I feel it's kind of hard to fully stop arbitrage in any way. It does exist as a pretty much protocol, let's call it, or procedure, um, because not all markets are efficient. In one way, I feel it's an exploit. They may be able to, let's say, to prevent it in the near future, but you have to take into account that it can be used at any given point when the currencies are purchased in a market. So yeah, it's if you ask me from my perspective, as a noob, because I am a noob when it comes to understanding it and exampling, maybe put it forward. I don't 100% understand it, so I wouldn't know how to stop it. But yeah, I think it we have to wait and see what options there are. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't really present a problem unless HuDex reaches that intended volume and brand recognition that I was talking about early. And if it does, then of course it's going to have additional sources and additional partners to prevent with that. Now, one of the partners that may be able to help even at the moment is RVZ. RVZ has been supporting them with the development of the DApp. So maybe they have already something to cover that, but I wouldn't know of any 100% disruption of the arbitrage, Amber.
Thank you very much for your response. Thank you, Note.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that wonderful question. And thank you. I enjoy your answers. I mean, they are detailed and straight to the point. So, up next we have Soma. Soma, you could go ahead with your question. Please, one question. We're out of time.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Right. Thank you for the opportunity. So my question is, how do you prevent whales from having large influence on the vote from their large holding?
That's an interesting question. I mean, let me be 100% honest here. Depends on your strategy here. So if you as a project, if you put your tiers, because I did mention some HuDex premium features, they will be available to native holders. Now, if you require people to hold that particular token at a high value, so as an example, you need to hold $50,000 worth of tokens to have access to the full premium package. If you put that forward, then I mean, I have to face it, you open yourself to a potential dump on the chart. Why? Because imagine what would happen when people gradually buy to reach the value. What would happen with others that want to speculate? What's going to happen with arbitrage trading, as we were just talking about it? So the idea behind, let's say, preventing whales is simple. Again, people can purchase at any level. Doesn't matter. If you want to purchase $50,000 worth of tokens right now, you can go ahead and do so. There's nothing literally that the project can do to stop that. If you want to dump later on the chart, again, it kind of is what it is. How they wanted to not to prevent that, because it would help the project a lot if big investors would support it. But how they envision it is this: we're gonna probably do a couple of tiers, a couple of rewards in the platform that will not require you guys to hold a lot of tokens, and therefore, if you want to purchase a bit more, it's up to you. But we're not exposing ourselves to having a whale dump on our chart. At the moment, I have taken a look as we were speaking on the holders and the amount. I wouldn't say there's any big amounts of token being held right now. But again, you have to also take into account that people are not going to invest massively until they see HuDex here and there. And at the moment, honestly, they haven't started the marketing yet or fully. So yeah, they're not quite visible. That's why you don't see a lot of volume in it. So yeah, as a short answer, there's no whale prevention. But also, I mean, it comes with good and with bad impacts as well. So yeah.
All right, thank you so much for your answer. Thank you, Notes. Yeah.
Thanks as well,
Um,
Summer.
yeah. Thank you very much so much for that wonderful answer. I mean, implementing a strategy to prevent large holders from actually compromising the vote is something that's really important, and I love that. I love what the team is doing. So the last participants would be Jay. Yeah, I think Twitter takes little time to bring up people. Jay should be up any minute from now. Before then, you could follow the Twitter, the HuDex Twitter account. The main HuDex Twitter account isn't here, but I think it's at HuDex officials, and then their website is HuDex.io. You could get more detail about HuDex and make your research. Not a financial advice, but make sure you always. All right. Jay is here. Jay, you could go ahead with your question.
Hey, thank you, buddy. Hey, Alex. So,
Cheers, man.
so yeah, so throughout the course of the AMA, you never really made any mention about what the transaction fees are for trading on HuDex. And since you're going to be dealing with a cross-chain platform, how do you have an idea how long it will take to develop a route? Let's say I'm going from Arbitrum to BNB. So how long will it take to develop a route?
and then facilitate the transaction on HuDex? Because I know cross chain right takes a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely good question. So let's answer them in depth. First one, what are the taxes? If you're talking about the token taxes, 2% buy, 3% sell. If you're talking about the swap taxes, um, the blockchain taxes themselves. So if you wanna swap on the platform on BSC, you're gonna pay the BSC taxes. There's nothing additional to that. So the swap itself doesn't have any native taxes. Why? Because it's just there to facilitate, not to gain. So it's not a revenue perspective. That's to narrow this down. And the taxes are developed to are sorry the 2% buy, 3% sell, straight into marketing and development. So there's no additional features there. If we're talking about the bridge portion, how fast would you be able to go from A to B? At the moment, I would say that the bridge is not fully functional, still to be released within the dashboard. I mean, honestly, depends on the blockchain. If we're talking about going from BNB to ETH right now, I would say that's probably it has the most traffic. If we're talking about Arbitrum or other blockchains, Avalanche and Polygon, depends on the network confirmations, because I'm sure you guys know that there are some network confirmations that are required. Even when you swap on Binance, it does the same thing. So it does need some validators. Um, I mean, eventually in the fastest way possible. I wouldn't expect, let's say, a conversion from BNB to, I don't know, let's say Polygon or Sui or whatever they're going to implement to take more than uh, a minute. I think it's a lot, maybe 30 seconds. I don't know, just as an estimation. So depends on the blockchain on which you want to go as well. At the moment, based on the volumes as well, I would say BNB to ETH would probably be the most uh, would have the most accumulation. But in the end, it's probably not going to take more than a minute. Otherwise, yeah. In the end, there's still room for improvement, of course. But the bridge, as I've said, the bridge is not fully functional. So still a couple of more, let's say, days until we see that one.
All right, thank you, man. I mean, if it's a minute, then that's cool. Because I mean, I've had to do cross chain transactions that last up to a day. So cheers, man.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for the question.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, Jay, for your wonderful question. Alex, thank you so much for coming. I don't know if you have any last remark before we wrap up this AMA. And I have one question. I would love you to maybe tell us what actually excites you about this particular project. Like, what part of the project excites you the most?
That's a good way to end the AMA North. Um, and again, I'm gonna be unbiased here. Just that's pretty much how I am in a transparent manner. And in the wrap up, first of all, I wanna kind of end again with thanking each and every one of you guys for joining, specifically on a Sunday. Second of all, thanks a lot for stepping in, North. And don't worry, if you talk to Jenny, just let her know it's not a problem. She had some connection issues, totally understandable. Thanks a lot to Alpha for preparing this as well. And as a wrap up, I would say what I feel has the potential for HuDex. What's interesting, if pushed to the levels intended, because at the moment they still need to work on it without the shadow of a doubt. So if you take a look at the decks at the dashboard, there are still a lot of things that need to be put into place, and they know that as well. What kind of excites me the most is one of them, the contract checker and the advanced contract checker features. Why? Because I mean, I use the contract checker more or less on Dextos. As I've said, I have the premium package there. So that's one of the things. Being able to see upfront and within fastest way possible, what are the functions? Am I exposing myself by trading this? That's super important. And second of all, as a fully functional utility, the bridge and the correlation towards the investors. The bridge, because I bridge my tokens through centralized exchanges right now, and I would love to have a fast and reliable decentralized platform. I know there's a lot of them. I have examples if you guys want, but not all of them are fast. It has happened for me to want to bridge from BNB to ETH, for example, and to take more than an hour. And it's pointless. In an hour, a token goes up and it dies twice, to be fairly honest. So I need reliability. Um, what will excite me, and again, if developed to the proper manner, would be the community integration, because this is a community-driven protocol. The entire ecosystem is like that. So if you don't keep your community close, and take into account what they need, and I know it's hard. I know what I'm saying right now might seem like it's impossible. I know people are going to say that it's not, but you have to take into account what the community needs. Otherwise, your developments might not reach onto their needs. But yeah, that's what I would feel kind of excites me about the project. The Let's say the one-stop shop potential. But I'm still looking forward to the final version, or let's say additional features that they want to put forward.
I mean that's really great. I also love the one stop feature. So Alex, thank you very much for coming. It was actually great and wonderful having you here. And we hope to see you again some other time to come tell us more when other features are being integrated and launched. So I can see there are still a lot of requests, and sorry guys, we can't take more questions. We wouldn't want to keep our guests waiting for a long time. But you could go to their socials, their Telegram, Discord, and you could go to their website, HuDex.io, and check out what they're building and learn more. Thank you very much, Alex, and it's great having you here. Cheers.
Definitely. My pleasure, North. Thanks, everyone, and hope to talk to you guys soon.